quarterback's going to go one to the rail. His first reset will take him to the mesh. The biggest coaching point that we tell our quarterbacks once he gets off the rail is to keep his eyes in front of the mesh. We don't want him looking back, all right? 2 reasons for that. If you look back and you throw in the ball, generally you tend to miss behind the mesh route runner. The other reason we teach our quarterbacks, and we talk a lot about keeping their vision open. Well, if I'm looking back trying to find the mesh route runner, I can't have open vision to see in front of where the mesh route's going. All right, we do that to make sure that we don't throw our mesh route into maybe a squat corner or a flat defender that's hanging out there. So 1 is the rail, 2 is the mesh, 3 is the middle, and then 4 is we have a different term, shallow sit. The quarterbacks know it is something different. I don't want to say it here because it's normally something they're like, oh crap, I got to get to it, right? They're not just going through a progression. I'm hitching up, I'm throwing my shallow sit. All right, it's something they're generally having to move to, and they're having to find it on the move. It's kind of their last check down that they have to get to. All right, so that's one base way. First time we put mesh in, that's how we're going to install it. The other way that we will install this play, picture on the right, all right? Now we're saying H mesh, no different. We're tagging the mesh route runner, all right? It's still 51. The rail route is 1. The next adjacent is the shallow sit. Next adjacent him is the middle. In this instance, we are tagging a gift route to our X. That is an alert for the quarterback. All right, and the way we explain alerts to our quarterback is you have got to love it. All right, because if you love it, you can throw it. We're going to throw that on 3 and a plant. We're going to put it on the boundary. We're going to take it 10 yards and move on. All right, but we do not want them to force this throw. All right, because we believe, and as we saw from the stats, the mesh concept is really, really good for us. All right, so we want to make sure if they're throwing this alert to this gift route, they better complete it 100% of the time. If not, this conversation they're going to have when they get to the sideline is not going to be great. All right, so now to get into what this looks like. So here's the first version. This is dose left, 51X mesh. So the quarterback is 3 and plant. As we talked about, it's zone coverage. All right, so he sees open vision, grass in front of him, put it on him. Give the runner the ball. Now we've created a situation where we have one of our best players in space on a defensive back. All right, so the rail route is 1, and this is exactly how this would come off to our players in an install meeting. All right, 3 plant, we're throwing read number 1 to the rail, complete, we move on, really good play. And as I talked about, this ball travels 10 yards. All right, at the end of the day, it had been very close to being an explosive play, so that's the beauty of this play. You can be highly efficient and highly explosive with this, and the ball's not having to travel 15, 20, 25 yards down the field, all right? So here we go again. Now we're same deal. Quarterback goes 1, 2, 3 plant. We get it into a pressure, all right? The quarterback knows that. He's going to utilize his back as a hot. So the one thing that we teach our backs is they're going to run their route. Whether they're hot or not, they're running their rail route. It's the quarterback's job to get the ball out of his hands. The runner has to be aware if he's hot to get his eyes around quicker, but we're not adjusting this route. We're not going to turn it into an arrow. We're not going to turn it into a swing. They're going to run the rail route because as you see, as many times as we get this called against pressure, it turns into an explosive play.